Abba and Preach as good as told everyone that they are Red Pill aware and that they support the Red Pill community. They said it was necessary. Does this mean the Red Pill is going mainstream? The panel discusses that next. The 6 starts right now. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of The Six. It is Sunday, March 7th of 2021. It is good to have you guys in this evening. How's everybody doing this evening?
Chilling. Good.
Chilling. Good. All right, good stuff.
Excellent.
I, of course, am back here in the I'm back here in the 215 after spending the better part of this past weekend in the 305. And while it is good to be back in the studio, I'm not really too excited to be back in Philly. I'm just going to keep it all the way real. Listen, it is what it is. And I guess I'll go ahead and make this announcement now. This is actually real news because I haven't even told Devin this yet. So you guys all know that Dev and I, we were going to go and hang out in Phoenix for a couple of months.
Of course.
Never mind. And we're going to go out there and maybe look at some property. We are 99.9% certain that we are going to move to Reno. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still some stuff out in Phoenix that we could take a look at. Maybe some potential goodbyes out there. But it looks like Reno, Nevada is definitely going to be the spot for us. And because we are 99.9% sure that we are going to be moving to Phoenix, we're not going to spend the next 2 months in Phoenix. We are spending them in Miami. That's right. Your boy is going down. Your boy is going down to the 305, man. And listen, it all makes sense. And here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, dude. Check this out. So I went to lunch with Myron yesterday. And I swear to God, I think this dude set me up, man. Because we get to lunch and we start discussing, I'm going to go out to Phoenix and this and that. And Myron goes into this sales pitch, right? And he changes my mind in like 10 minutes, and then he proceeds to take me all around Brickell. He's like, yo, this is where the gym is at, that's where the juice bar is, the weather's good, the food is good, the girls are pretty. I was like, this motherfucker. Next thing you know, he's got his realtor on the phone with me. He's like, yo, this is my man Donovan, he's looking to come down here for a few months. I'm like, man, this motherfucker. But yo, I'm telling you, he set me up. But listen, it all makes sense. Man. Listen, I thought it was a plan. I was like, dude, this motherfucker. I got on the plane. I was like, this dude set me up, man. But seriously, it all makes sense. Everything fits. Great cast of characters down there, dude. Miami's the place to be, dude. I loved every minute of Miami when I was down there, and I can't not see myself spending the next 2 months down there. Really getting my shit together. So, we're gonna convert Coach next. We're gonna trick him into coming to Miami as well.
Can't wait.
Are you gonna stop down there, or are you gonna just visit, or you gonna?
No. What I'm really going down there to do is just to kind of refresh and recharge. Dev and I, we've been here in Philly now for going on 4 years, and my grandmother just passed, and so my familial obligation is not that I didn't want to help out my grandmother, but now there's really no reason for me to be here, and because we're not really looking to move to Reno, out actually where Rolo is going to be at, right around the end of the year, we figured, you know what. Instead of being, during another, Northeast summer, which isn't really that bad, we said, you know what, let's do some traveling, man. Let's go down to Phoenix, maybe, spend some time down there. But after spending this weekend in Miami, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make the call here. It's we're going to the 305, so that's what it is.
That's
yeah,
man. Good job.
Big announcement, man.
Myron set me up. He set me up, man. I'm trying to tell y'all.
It wasn't part of my evil plan.
It was his job. Let us introduce, as I get Kevin Samuels just texted me. He said he's going to be there this spring. So Wow, it's gonna be wow.
Perfect. It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be a
wild.
party. It is gonna be a party in the three.
Coming through too, man.
Yeah, I've been telling you for months, bro. You guys all gotta get down here.
I'm telling you what. If Kevin's down there and you come down there, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. We're gonna break the internet. All right, guys. Let us introduce tonight's esteemed panelists. Wait, what was that?
I said I'm gonna need to come back then. Y'all come
CJ, you know you gotta come back, man. You know you gotta come back. Listen, look, we're gonna bring down our microphones. We're bringing all of our equipment. Everybody's moving to Miami for the summertime, man. Fuck it. Hotep's coming. Lucario's coming. Everybody's coming.
Facts.
Everybody's coming. Fuck it. I'll bring my dad out there. I don't give a fuck. All right. At any rate, let us introduce tonight's esteemed panelists. First off, the ordained minister of the streets. He is the man, the myth, the legend out there in Chicago, Minister Jap. What's going on, bro?
Oh man, it's always a blessing when players get together, man. Oh man, we going hard. You know what I'm saying? The German Shepherd series is available for you brothers to come on Patreon, subscribe. You know what I'm saying, and follow me on YouTube and Instagram.
All right, good stuff. Very good. Next up, of course, is the guy. I don't know. What are you, like 500 miles due east of Chicago? It's Mr. Lucario, the only man on the panel with a girlfriend and a wife that actually know about each other. What's up?
What's going on, people? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody, on the panel. Let's get into this. Make sure you guys go to Bad Boy membership. That is where you get all the game. You feel me? All right?
Yes. When you coming to Miami, man?
Soon. I need to come back.
Man, everybody's going to be there, dude. Everybody's going to be there, man.
Let me know. We got to all be there. Get a crack.
That will be it is going to be fun.
We can do the 7 here. I got enough mics to make it happen too.
Hey, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, man.
That'll be dope.
We'll call it the 6 and the 305, man.
Hey, Myron, I need a feminist. You got to bring me a feminist, man.
They're all around.
Yo, bro, we got
bring me a hood rat from Haiti, man. I want all the smoke.
Hey,
bro, there's been a bunch of girls DMing us saying they want to come on and debate and all this shit.
God.
Let's go.
Did these bitches actually watch what happened on Thursday night?
Hey, man, they want the clout, man. They want the smoke.
We have a lot of attention. I'm telling y'all, they love that attention.
Listen, we will give them all the smoke they can handle. Next up, the guy who lives probably about 3 blocks west of where I live. That's Hotep Jesus. What's going on, bro?
What's happening?
Give me back my son. You guys remember that ransom? That was from 95. Probably too old. You guys probably too young to remember that. Listen, man, we got the triple threat down there in the 305. We've got Myron, 5% body fat gains. What's going on?
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on. We're happy to be here, bro. And yeah, man, we got a special guest in the house, man.
That is Coach Greg Adams. Where you at?
Go back. On the West Coast, I don't even know what time it is, man. I just flew in, and they took me all over the damn Miami. They trying to convert me. I'm a California dude, man, but Miami does have some things popping.
Hey, listen. All I can tell you, Greg, is the day you leave, don't go to lunch with him because that's what he makes. That's what he makes his movies like. And listen, it's all innocent. And then he waits for that one subject. You could do some things if you moved here to Miami. You're like, you know what? I guess it wouldn't be too bad. Next thing you know, you're on the phone with his real estate agent, man. It's crazy.
Well, it says something about them. I mean, the channel is growing. They're popping off. They got great production.
Yeah, man.
And it says something about them that everybody's rallying to this spot. This is the rally spot, so it's good.
Listen,
Thank you.
Listen, shout out to Myron and Fresh, and we're going to introduce Fresh here in a second. He's another special guest. Shout out to Myron and Fresh, but dude, listen, the weather is warm, the food is great, and the girls are pretty. What more do you need at that point?
Next. Yep.
Last but certainly not least, our second guest panelist for the evening, that is the Fresh Prince CEO.
Hey.
What's up, fellas? Thank you for having me. Fresh Prince CEO, as you know. Check out as well, patreon.com/freshfit. The late night podcast with the girls is lit. You know what I'm saying? We bring in.
We might do a late night show tonight.
Yeah, we might do it tonight.
Say what?
Yeah.
We got one set lined up for tomorrow as well. So
tomorrow we got some really. Look, tomorrow's show with Coach is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be insane.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Feminists versus Coach Greg Adams. Yo, for real. When we all get down there, it's gonna be like we're gonna take over the city, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we're gonna
taking
get
over the
banned.
city.
I'm gonna get kicked out of my building. It'll be
Yes.
it'll be great.
We probably will. We probably will, but something tells me it's going to be a great time. Okay, guys. So let's get to the. Oh, wait a minute. We've actually got a couple of super chats here, and I forgot to set this up. So let's see how this is going to work. So we're going to go to super chat all. Ooh, that doesn't look like that works at all. All right. Well, it looks like we're just going to have to read them off. We're not going to be able to see them this time. We have Chris Rucker. Appreciate you becoming a member of the chat. Appreciate the support. DeAndre Kershaw. $2. Appreciate that. Chris Poxon, the very producer of the Fresh and Fit podcast, with the $5 super chat, says shout out to this lit panel. It's about to go down.
Chris, you're supposed to give us that money, bro. What the hell?
Hey, my channel, my money, man. Hey, but remember, we all split this 7 ways, so I think we're getting like 17 cents each on that $5 super chat. Hey, listen, I feel like I'm really cool now because I have the Don DeMarco button. I feel like I'm part of the game.
Where did y'all get that shit?
Part of the cool kid. I just
Solo
looked it up.
TV84, man. We got it came from Solo TV84. We got to give him the credit.
Shout out Solo, man. Shout out my brother.
Shout out to Solo TV 84 # green eggs and ham. Don DeMarco with the $5 super chat.
Don DeMarco.
I'm gonna abuse this soundbite. Says, would we be concerned about the RP going mainstream? What if mainstream media and feminism tries to shut down channels like you, Rollo, CJ, etc., etc.? They've actually shut me down. But like cockroaches in the night, I always come back. Bryce Friday, welcome to Chat Privileges, Uncomfortable Truth, and we will answer that seriously as the evening goes on. Lakeith Evans, $5 says, hey, were you guys offended when I mentioned Tommy the other day? Didn't mean to offend. I guess I don't know the history there. I wasn't offended. Were any of you?
No, I wasn't either.
Not at all.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Yeah. Listen. Yeah. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. I guess that's what he's talking about. Vladimir Pachib says, massive shout out to the Coach Gang. Welcome to Florida and freedom. Appreciate that.
That's true.
Fritz Enesthal, $5 says, you guys are my hero. No, actually, the real hero of the podcast is little white Shiba Inu. Coolest dog I've ever met in my life. I love that dog. I remember we're all sitting there eating steak nachos, and I gave him some steak from the steak nachos, where I was exposed as a girly drinker. You guys can check that out. My exposed series on Instagram. Exposed. Ryder with the $5 super chat. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're coming in. Holy God. Sydney M6TOW says, what a lineup. Shout out to all you brothers and Solo. Appreciate that.
It's like these motherfuckers, they got their stimulus check. God damn.
We're good. Carlos Rosado, $5. A shout out to you all, Fresh and Fit, with Kevin and Karen. The man was classic. That was crazy. Seeker of Truth, $5 says, I just moved. Haven't been around in a while. Glad to be back. Right up $5 says, RP Knights of the Round Table. Appreciate that. Seed up $3 says, # Hot Dude Summer Crimson Capsule Class of 21. It's gonna be dude. I'm telling you, the spring of 21 in the 305 with all of us down there. Yo, dude, I can't even think right now.
It's gonna be lit.
Crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Greg, you gotta come out. We gotta get you guys out there.
I'm gonna be out here for sure.
Real talk. All right, good stuff. Mike Sinatra says, did you guys see Bezos' ex-wife got remarried to a high school teacher and agreed to give away half her assets to him? I guess he's got game.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess so.
That's what's up. I fucks with that.
Yeah, real talk. Wow. Listen, that is game.
He must be on the Bad Boy membership, that teacher.
You feel me? Exactly. He knows what's up. Either that or he's got his hands on Womanies Volume 4.
Right.
Womanies 4. Appreciate that. Kyler Nagard, $2 says, just moved to Florida, building homes here freedom. Absolutely. Jason Bravo, $5 says, shout out to Coach. Looking forward to Fresh and Fit tomorrow night. Gonna be lit. All right, so the super chats have stopped coming in momentarily. Let's go ahead and get to tonight's topic at hand. So, Abba Preach, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them or not. Super duper big YouTube channel, almost 2 million subscribers. They are, I don't want to say they're mainstream, but the larger YouTube channels seem to really, really be talking. And give me 1 second here. We have another guest coming on to the set. That's right. It's your boy, Kevin Samuels. What's going on, Kevin?
What's going on, guys? How we doing tonight?
What up,
man?
What's up, Kevin?
Good. Thanks for having me on for a second.
Absolutely, man. Listen, man, the kitchen is still hot after you cooked. What's her face? What's the aftermath been like?
It's been well, personally, it's been pretty good. I will say that a lot of my critics and detractors tend to think, well, you only go after black women and da 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 da, and that shows the fact that I keep the same kind of talking points for anybody who wants to challenge what we're saying over here. I think it's been very well received, and I honestly think it's going to change the conversation for the next 90 days. Honestly,
I think so too.
Oh,
I think so because and let me ask you this, I guess, while we have you on the air here, Kev. Why do you think? Because I think black women know, or at least I would think that they would know, that you don't just you treat everybody fairly. And it was clear that faithful, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday night, you kept that same energy. The talking points were the same. The energy were the same. Do you think that the quote unquote black community is going to give Kevin Samuel, okay, listen, man, he goes after black women, guess what? He treats the white girls the same way too. Or are they just going to say, well, this was just a one-off?
They can say what they want to, but the work it shows itself. See, that's the problem. Many of these folks who are my detractors are trying to find all kind of things that have a hint of truth, but if you just do a little bit of watching yourself, you'll see the truth. And that's where we're kind of at right now. I think that's a great lead into the broadcast.
Yeah.
Look, extremes on either side are extremes that I don't want to deal with. It's the people in the middle who are at least willing to have the conversation about the subject. Then where can we go? That's what I think is going to happen. What I think happened was because I'm on another platform. I'm talking to a group of people who I really don't have any, previous interaction with, but it's the same issue. It's this Western feminist, womanist, we don't need men, that's creeped into Western civilization that's rotting us from the inside.
It's good that you treated her exactly the same way. And guess what, Kevin? She reacted exactly the same way. Yeah, and it was funny because Deb was like, did Myron go and talk her back onto the studio? I said, no, Myron didn't chase her down. He was talking to Chris about something. You can give a fuck about her. Fuck that.
No, I actually talked her back. I talked her back to come back on.
Oh, you did?
Come back on.
Yeah, he did. And by the way, Kevin, she says she would do a one-on-one with you after the show. She's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I need his guidance. After the show, she said that.
There's
that's ultimately kind of what I want to get to. We all have opinions, and we get a chance to sharpen our steel with each other.
Right.
But oftentimes women don't have a chance to really even hear these kind of things, much less be challenged on them, because most folks will kind of demur or go away. So it's an unfamiliar experience with a lot of women. Like, you'll be amazed, some of my most viral moments, I've actually heard from the women, either directly or indirectly, who have been at the center of these things, and it's been pretty much unanimous. You know what? I needed to hear that.
Right.
And that's the outcome I think we're ultimately going for. I don't care if people like me or dislike me. They don't know me.
Of course not.
The people on this panel who actually I speak to regularly, who know me, that's who I care about. Whether or not I care about those people's opinions. Everybody else, cool, but keep it to yourself, because I do like to carry.
Oh, wait a minute. He's got the burner.
Yeah, man. Especially nowadays, man. Haters gonna hate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good stuff, man. So are you gonna do a one-on-one with Amanda, or like what's going on with that?
She'll come back on the show. She said she'll come back on, and we got some other girls that actually want to come on, lawyers and stuff like that too.
We'll talk.
Lawyers say what?
You guys know what we're talking about.
Over the internet, if you were here in studio with the girls.
I got a lot of. There's a lot of things. I look at it as going to be better outcome for everybody. So there are some things even I need to talk to you, Donovan, and Jeff, who has been happening behind the scenes this last week.
Okay.
There's a lot of attention placed in this area. And since we're talking about Abba and Preach, I want to bring up something that happened to their platform.
Oh.
Last week or so, they put a notice out on the community tab, in effect saying that YouTube had discontinued them from the. Hold on, let me read it, because I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to misinterpret it.
Everything's jacked up.
But they said that they're going to be off doing videos for the next couple of weeks, because they're trying to straighten out why they have been removed from the partner program. Meaning they're not. If it stands right now, they won't be getting monetization money from YouTube. So they think it's a snafu. but they have to take it. They have to take some time to figure this stuff out. So what their latest post it says, we're taking the next 2 weeks to sort out this YouTube stuff. Meanwhile, get your Auburn Preach fix off of their Patreon. Now, behind the scenes, I'd actually heard from them about a couple 3 weeks ago, and they were saying, "Hey, it'll be great to do a live stream." And they sent me a message on IG, and this was before I had my family emergency come up and before their channel got knocked. But I just want you to know that, like, it amazes me how when guys tend to go in a certain direction with content, these glitches happen. I mean, my Instagram channel in the middle of a live stream was just accidentally deleted by Instagram.
What?
And they said, yeah. And they said, sorry about that. We didn't mean to do that. And I had to I had to upload the message that YouTube sent me, and then to hear Auburn Preach, who keep it pretty clean, to hear that their channel has been effectively removed from the partner program. So that means all revenue, super chat, everything else.
God
just
almighty. And Kevin, you said they keep it super clean, but I'm gonna tell you what, we've all watched. I don't know if the panel's watched the video. You've watched the video, and I've watched the video. And they kept it super clean language-wise, but they did not. And they even say in the video, "Hey, man, if you speak a certain way, you're gonna get, you're gonna get community strikes, deplatformed. There's no stuff like this." And I remember thinking while I was watching the video today, it's amazing that these guys are still on YouTube, and they are still on YouTube, but they have been quote unquote removed from the partner program. Kevin, listen, that's no coincidence, man. The reason they've been removed from the partner program is because they're too big a channel to be talking about what they're talking about. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I think Jordan Peterson was the first person everybody needs to kind of study. When he made his stance known about Canada's ruling on the pronoun usage regarding the quote-unquote alphabet community, Jordan Peterson says for the next 2 years, he had to endure. If you guys think what I've been going on is something, what that man had to endure was even worse. 2 years. And he said scandal after this, after that. This is before going online with the interview with Kathy Newman, where it went mega viral. Before going on with the journalist on GQ. But this is kind of the rite of passage because he was more or less a tip of the spear on the online world. But if anybody on this side of the table, you know who's been doing this content for the longest. You know,
right.
Tom Likas was the forerunner to all this stuff. But what I'm ultimately saying is this. Usually it's one person. So it's easier to get rid of one person. But now it seems to be, it's becoming, I walk around and these are the things that may have been considered taboo to talk about are being talked about at Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
These things that when I walk and I see, and they're not just, when I'm here looking at non-black people saying things that we say on this side, openly. When I told you when I went to LA and I had, people taking photographs, I mean, I thought they were looking at someone else. No, they were looking at us. Men in that video when Auburn Preach said this is needed for the conversation because ultimately what it starts to bring is balance. And I'm going to juxtapose that with what happened on the Fresh and Fit podcast the other day.
Yep.
That conversation, after 2 days of having a back and forth, and even earlier that day going in one direction, it got a little bit more balanced when we could just vet ideas.
Right.
So, and that's what we need to get to because no one can tell me that this country or in the West, that we may be doing okay from a financial standpoint, but from a societal relational standpoint, this gender war is making all the Western powers weak.
Yes. And make no mistake, it is absolutely a gender war. A lot of people like to say, well, men and women get along just fine. No, men and women are not getting along just fine. And listen, what happened at the on the Fresh and Fit podcast after party, I think, and that, like, Kevin, that was like two worlds colliding. You got this pretty dude, you got this pretty white girl freshly hit the wall. She's entitled. She's got party voice. I'm a half a man. And you absolutely, and you cooked her medium rare, flipped her over, did it for another 20 seconds. It was a thing of beauty.
Well, and the fact that, it was done with, of course, you guys know me, I don't curse. I don't go there. There were plenty of times where different racial sensitivities could have been brought into the conversation,
Yes.
but they were not needed. We don't have to, we have the facts, data, statistics, and actually the sense of right and wrong is more on this side.
Yep.
I got to say one thing, and I'm going to kind of lean it back over to the platform. If you guys study ancient Rome, there's a premise that part of the reason that Rome fell, outside of the things we've been taught, overexpansion in the West, things like this, a part of the reason they think a lot of these powers dwindled was because of what I'm about to say.
Okay.
There was a writer called Cato, and he said, all mankind controls its women. We control all mankind. Our women rule us.
Wow.
That's what he wrote about world. The world, all mankind rules its women. We rule all mankind, meaning Rome. But in Rome, our women rule us. And that was, and within about 150 years,
Yeah,
Rome had fallen.
Yep. And and this is why this is, I don't know. I don't want to steer this in that direction.
I'm back away for a couple of seconds, guys.
Go ahead. This is why, and we'll go around the panel with this because I believe Kevin is 100% correct, and I think that you guys would agree. I'm going to go to Coach Greg Adams with this one first. Basically, he predicted the fall of Rome. He said, listen, man, we rule the world. Our women rule us. 150 years later, it's the fall of Rome. What was her name? Helen of Troy, the Trojan. I mean, the power of a woman's allure and its ability to stupefy men to do stupid things. Dude, King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. I mean, the list goes on and on. David and Bathsheba. This is why we have to keep our house in order with regards to women. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Kevin brings up a good point because if I'm not a historian either, but I don't pretend to be. But
Sure.
Some of the things that I've read related to that was a lot of the inheritancy went from male to female. So a lot of the older women got a hold of a lot of the money during Rome, and they became a part of the aristocracy and then the political climate. So there's something to be said about that. If you bring that up, some historians that protect womenism will say, well, it wasn't that caused the fall of Rome. But if you investigate it, there are some people that would attribute what Kevin is saying about that. So there's a pattern here. And I wrote in the book, The Evolution, that pattern is playing itself out here.
Yep.
With the gender dynamics. I don't want to say it's a gender war. It's a gender dynamics in which women have the lobbyists, they have the politicians, they have the media, they have everything on their side. Hollywood, everyone else is catering to them for a reason. The reason women believe it's because it's going to give them some sort of empowerment. But there's a bigger thing behind the scenes. They're giving them a sense of if like Kevin said, if we can't control the women for the most part, if we have no words, if we can't say what we want to say, then the powers that be have control. Then all the gloves are off. You can bring in socialism, communism. You can take it whatever way you want. But in terms of the topic today, it is important that men do their best. Either it doesn't matter if you get deplatformed, it doesn't matter if you got to carry your burner around, whatever you have to do. The certain men that are sticking up, men are appreciating it because they don't have a voice. There's men that cannot talk like this. Right. I met a guy in Houston today at the airport. He recognized me and he's like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. He can't talk like we're talking.
No.
He can't risk it. For the most part, we can't risk it because, you know what I mean? Like at some point, it may come to a point where we can't say it, but we're doing a bigger service and it may be our last ditch effort.
Wow.
There it goes before it goes the other way. Yeah. This might be it.
Let me go back. Go ahead. Who's next?
Like a lot of these guys are, they're slaves to their jobs.
Yeah.
They hold back their integrity of what they stand for because of these jobs, and a lot of guys can't be taken serious when we take it serious. For instance, it's people who do what we do, but they have anonymous courage,
right?
And the anonymous courage comes from hiding your face,
right,
and not being visible. So when you're not visible, you can speak with these talking points because nothing comes from it. But we are the men that risked it all.
Yeah, man.
We put it all on the line. Every one of us go on the street. We either gonna run into feminist or simp, but we're here. You know who we are. Kev is out the street. It could go one way. It could go. Luckily, it's been love.
Right.
Yep.
It could go bad.
Real talk, man.
Put it on the line. These people take no risk. They get a camera phone. They hide behind an avatar, and they think that they can have the same talking points or try to outdo what we do.
Right.
And try to convince people that what we're doing isn't right and what they're doing is right. But you're anonymous, and that's safe.
Yep.
We put it all on the line. We really rolled the dice with this. We really are the voice for black men. We really are the voice for men, period.
Yep.
Because we really put it on the line. So these people, that's why we ask for y'all support, because it's needed. Because you don't know what we really deal with behind the scenes. You don't know how many family members we lost.
Oh my God, man.
You don't know how many good women we lost. Oh, you think like that? You're like, nigga, we put it on the line. You stand. Do you really believe in the shit that you're saying? Or is it just some shit that you do when you get off work and that's tied?
I'm gonna go to Hotep, then I'm gonna go to Myron, because I know Myron, I think, has lost 27 women when they found out who he really was. Listen, we'll get a numbers confirmation on that. Hotep, you are actually, before Kevin blew up, you were the most visible of us all, having been on the biggest podcast in history, Joe Rogan. And I remember, for me, the turning point in that interview, I remember you guys were going back and forth and things were a little bit edgy, right? Then all of a sudden, Rogan goes a little bit purple pill, and let's make no mistake about it. Rogan is as red pill as they are. We all know this. But Rogan says to you about, okay, you're supposed to build together and da-da-da-da-da-da. And you said, well, I'm about my shit. He says, well, what about her shit? And you said, well, fuck her shit. And everybody in the room laughed because, and for me, I was like, okay, well, Hotep Jesus is out there now. So now Brian Sharpe, no relation, what's it like for you in public? Are there certain concerns that you have? And what do you think in terms of what Jab said, like this is, or Greg said, this is our last ditch effort, man. If we don't get it now, we're never going to. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I usually travel with security.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least when I'm local, I usually have bodyguard with me.
Yeah, it's real like that.
Yeah, mostly for somebody else's safety and not mine. I got kids. I can't be going to jail.
Right. No, I'm with you.
And if I put hands on you, you ain't coming back to life. So, keep it serious, man. I don't really got that type of beef out here. I don't. First of all, I don't leave the house. That's number one.
Yeah, right.
Second of all, the circles I be in, I'm all around like millionaires and billionaires and tech heads.
Right.
So the hoi polloi can't even get access to me most times, So I don't be in the clubs. I can't do the club. It's just my patience doesn't allow me to do that type of environment. Sure. But I can't do really like young, immature environments. Okay. I usually like something that's like chill and cool and,
And it's hard for any bullshit to pop off at that point, though, right?
You said what?
It's hard for any bullshit to pop off at that point. I mean, listen, you've got security, you're kind of a homebody, you're a tech startup guy, you've got like 74.
Yeah, I mean, I've had instances before where things could have popped off, but usually I can out logic somebody and say, why are you angry? Let's talk about this. And usually at the end, we either agree to disagree or they're like, all right, I kind of get your point. Because that's usually what happens is somebody takes like some little clip that they saw and they didn't get the full message and the nuance of the conversation. And then they come to find like, oh, I agree with you, but I've never had anybody press me on the street.
Okay, good stuff. Now, Myron, you are a florist. You're a third grade teacher by day. You moonlight as a florist. I'm told that I think you hold an orange belt in karate. I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Pink.
Yeah. Oh, pink belt. Oh, my fault. Watch out. Do not fuck with Myron Gaines. He will fuck you up and then give you some daisies afterwards. But like real talk, man, because what Jab said, listen, we've lost family members, we've lost women. Listen, tensions are high between me and my own mother, okay? She knows who I am and what I do. And her and I mean, we're on speaking terms, but She doesn't like what I do. I don't give a fuck, but that's just kind of how it is. Talk about some of the collateral damage that comes with being so visible. People know, listen, they might not know it. Well, some people know our government names, but people recognize us when we're out, man. What's that like?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll talk about it in the future once I clear out some legal things. But yeah, man, I had to leave my job, guys, from what I used to do for having these views. You know what I'm saying? Obviously the guys on the panel, you guys know, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, for the viewers out there, you guys will find out eventually. But yeah, I had to leave my old gig because of this stuff. And, you know, it comes down to what Jack was saying. Do you really believe in what you're saying to the extent where you're willing to lose certain things and certain securities from it? And for me, it was like, yeah, I am about this life. I truly believe what I say. I do think, you know, I grew up in a Muslim household, the things I'm talking about, where I feel like, you know, men are leaders and women follow, and, you know, women are just not built to lead men, whether it's in a relationship. I always say if a woman leads in a relationship, she's going to lead you all right to the end of your relationship, you know. Then I also think that, you know, women aren't built to be leaders in a lot of different regards. You know, there's things that they're better than us at, and there's things we're better than them at, but leadership is definitely not one. I mean, if you survey women, asking them, hey, who would you rather work for? An overwhelming amount of them is going to tell you, I'd prefer to work for a man. Why is that? Well, because they don't have to deal with a female boss that's going through a period or has some type of passive aggressive type of vibe on her because she's more attracted than her. She gets more attention. There's none of that BS when you have a male boss. So, you know, it is what it is. So, like, going back to what Kevin was saying about Rome, men are hierarchy-based. Men understand that the performance is important. Men understand that men live, I always say, in a fact-based reality. Women live in a bizarre world, man. And it's, you know, as Rollo famously says, it's feels before reals, man. And since women live in a feels before reals world, you don't want those type of people having, you know, nuclear codes or anything like that. call me sexist or whatever you want to say, but reality is sexist. You know what I'm saying? Men and women are different, and that's just the way it is. And when you say these types of things, people are going to talk smack and try to insult you. But I'm not saying men are better than women. I'm not saying women are better than men, but we do things differently. And there are things that men are better at than women are better at. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all stems from this bullshit ideology that men and women are equal. I think that's the number one reason why so many people make mistakes when it comes to, you know, evaluating the two genders and everything else like that. But society was built upon men leading and women following, and we don't know what it's like the other way around. And I'll tell you this, there's a reason why China is like purposely keeping out Western culture and everything like that from their country, because they know that this stuff is toxic. And they know that if you had no matriarchy has ever survived the test of time. Patriarchies have survived, not matriarchy. So that's
Thank you very much.
I'll go to Lucario, and then we'll get Kevin's thoughts. Lucario, what are your thoughts on, you know, being, I guess in essence, a public figure? I mean, listen, you're in New York City. That's the you know, the most populated city in the United States. Do people recognize you, or do you have the luxury of anonymity when you're out?
No, well, I'll say this for any content creator, any of you guys on the panel, any other content creators out there, anybody trying to be a content creator, understand people are watching you.
Yep.
And so what happens is that you're going to, sometime you might go out and people are going to recognize you. Even before I was on YouTube, I did reality shows, you know what I mean? I was on Olive New York and VH1 and stuff. And when that was out, it was like everywhere I went, people was talking to me, trying to do this. And I got death threats, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, watch your back, because people that don't like you, you know what I'm saying, might want to do something, you know what I mean? So you got to definitely watch your back or whatever. But also I wanted to comment on what Kevin said earlier about as far as like the fall of Rome. And I think what happens is, and shout out to, there's another YouTuber called Mr. Limba Channel. He had this video where he said something to the effect of women are either going to listen to society or listen to their man.
Yep.
So what happens is that if she's listening to society, and most likely she's not listening to you. And if she is listening to you, then usually she'll tune out society. You see what I'm saying? Yep. So based off of, if you're going to be the type of guy who's that strong dude in her life, that strong presence, you'll be able to have an influence on your woman to make sure that you and that particular woman, it ain't no friction, it ain't no craziness. But if she's listening to society and not listening to you, it's a wrap for you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's what it is.
Kevin, your thoughts?
Well, you know, I've shared this behind the scenes with you in our many conversations that, needless to say, my level of visibility has gone exponentially.
Just a little bit.
So, at this point, I am having to look at moving differently than I used to, just because I am so recognizable now. And yeah, there's a concern for your own safety when you're in public places. I mean, like Hotep said, I mean, I don't want to have to hurt nobody. I don't. However, there are people who don't like me or my persona. But here's the thing, you know this, and Jap knows this, and anybody who knows me knows. People got to think long term. I used my government name when I started my channel. That should tell people that I expected to be at a certain place at a certain time.
That's exactly right.
So anything that I've done in my life, there's nothing that I'm ashamed of. To expose somebody who uses their government name is foolishness. But here's the ultimate thing. We are the new celebrity. And this is what's kind of hard to get your mind around, because while we just sit around and do what we do, there are people who are sitting there watching your money. They're watching $100, $200, $300. And, now that becomes the concern, because, if you're not moving around like, athletes, entertainers, movie stars with, a security or so, folks think they can just run up on you and hit an easy lick.
Yeah.
And you have to be cognizant of that fact. Influencers are by our nature more accessible than traditional celebrities. Yes. And if you're going to be a go with the flow kind of influencer, that's one thing. But we have views that are non-mainstream. So our circles keep us safe.
Yeah.
We work too damn much to be out and about anyway, so it's not even a consideration. But there is a point, especially with the guys on this platform, over 2021, we are going to become all very, very visible. And we have to factor that into how and which we move, especially like you said, you're going to be down in Miami.
Yeah.
I'm going to slide through Miami. There are people who are just going to want to come up and say, I was in and around these guys.
Yeah.
That's fine. But then there's also the mad rapper. I hate them dudes.
The mad rapper.
The jealousy and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a way in which to do it to where you don't have to, let somebody dictate how in which you live your life. Living boldly and out loud, and we have the luxury. Don't have the luxury. We've taken the risk, should I say?
There we go.
Of saying what's on our mind. But here's the thing: I've been this way since I can remember, and I'm sitting here with in Oklahoma, talking to people who've known me since I was in junior high. They're like, "You've been this way for all your life." We couldn't be anything other than what we're doing. We are fortunate in this sense, Donovan, and the rest of the guys. We live in a time to we can actually monetize it.
Yeah.
Because if we all had to work in those environments where we had to work 20 years ago, my God, we would have gone stir crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, Donovan, can I just say something real fast?
Yeah, sure,
I've gotten exponentially mad love when I go outside. I can't even remember a time where I've received negative energy from somebody in the public. I usually get it's usually very, very much love and hey, are you such and such? Yeah. Oh, I love your work. Oh, this and that, Usually the haters can't even afford to come outside.
And that's the thing, I would say when I told Donovan, I was like, even Donovan Chap was like, everywhere I've gone has been love, 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 love. I've had one person say, and it's been a female, well, I watch your stuff. You're kind of rude. And see, the thing is, I like that when I'm outside, but I'm also cognizant of the fact that the people who really do mean you harm or don't like you are going to do like Hinckley did to Reagan.
Yes.
They're not going to announce it.
Yes.
So you got to kind of understand that, while it's love, we are visible. So
that's fact. I get a lot of the most hate I've ever got is from people who grew up with me. People who actually know me personally, who went to school, high school with me and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They see what's going on, like, oh, I know you. Mm-hmm. I know the real you. Just because you know my fucking name. Nigga, nigga ain't what have I said that was a fucking lie? I ain't never do that. But when I'm out and about, like Kev said, if somebody's that watches the show that hates me, they don't approach me. But some fat German shepherds do.
But Jab, remember, Jesus had to leave Nazareth because he could do no miracles in his hometown because he was just David's son. That's how it's always been with us men. People who grew up with you don't want you to change. Right. They want you to still be the sum total of how they remember you. And they're not all right with that. And that's cool. They can do that while you keep on pushing the big body down the road.
Church.
The big body bends. By the way, Kevin, try that. Listen, try that shit on a train.
Right.
Yeah, listen, they have no idea what that is. Kevin, you're 100% right, because it's funny. I was doing a podcast with my crypto guys at around 10 o'clock. What was this? Today is Sunday. 10 o'clock yesterday morning in Miami, and I had my laptop outside. And it was great, dude. The sun is shining, palm trees are behind me. It's Miami, this and that and the other. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, everything is cool, but all it takes is that one person. I know exactly where Donovan is at right now. And I can go out there and do something, say something, whatever the case may be. That is never, for whatever reason, that's never really been far from my mind. And I think a lot of guys who sort of, rise through the ranks, someone like you who just, you just shoot off into the stratosphere very quickly. It's very important to keep that in mind, that while most people are going to shake your hand. Even people who don't like you are going to come up to you and shake your hand. But just like you said, with the attempted Reagan assassination, that dude didn't announce that. It just happened all of a sudden. Nobody knew who he was or where he was coming from. It just happened. And luckily, Reagan survived the assassination. But I mean, we might not be so lucky.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. And I don't, like a lot of the athletes, entertainers, those people, they tend to wear a lot of their income,
Yeah.
AP watches and chains and this and that. We don't move like that around here. So even if you do decide to run up on one of us, okay, you ain't gonna get nothing.
Right.
$400 daily limit on an ATM card, and what you gonna get? Ain't nobody running around like Tekashi 6ix9ine trying to make you no thank you. Because and that's something different. So, I will say this. What I want everybody to understand is we are the tip of the spear, but we're speaking for men across the board, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, other Black men on this panel, but people are vibing with what is going on. And I believe 2021 is going to be the year where the mainstream has to start grappling with the fact that deplatforming, shutting folks down like that, just like they tried to do to round us all back to the beginning. They tried to do that with Jordan Peterson, and they made him a multimillionaire and a mega international global sensation. Jordan Peterson was clocking over $400,000 per month on Patreon when they tried to shut him down. And that's what I want to get to. Wow. Gentlemen, what we're saying, there are people who are wanting us to do this. They want to see Hotep Jesus live good. There are people who will say, man, I love what you do, bro. I'm going to send you this and that. Keep doing what you're doing because I can't do it. They want to see that brother do good. They want to see men on this platform keep saying the stuff that they can't say because we are the key to their possible freedom. That's why they want it there. And that's something that we may not have had 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. That's why I looked at Jordan Peterson and things like that. They freed him from the university. Does he have to teach another day in his life? No, he does it now because just like us, we believe.
Good Donovan, can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I feel like most people don't talk about it, but we lose a lot of also girls doing this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So like me and Myron has lost at least like over 1,000 girls because when you take this approach, like guys might say, you know what, I respect that. But girls are like, is he like that in real life?
Yeah.
I don't even want to see him.
Yeah.
And that's one part, right? But the second part is, for example, like I used to do prank videos, right? So I'll do like gold digger pranks, and people love that stuff. Like, oh, bro, I love your videos and stuff like that.
They're entertaining.
The moment I started doing the podcast with Myron, it was like, oh, this is what you do? I lost a bunch of followers on YouTube, right? Yeah. So my whole platform changed up. And get this, right? Not only that, I know what Kevin said. People that hate you won't come talk to you in person. They'll send you a DM. But here's the problem, though, right? Like, for example, actually, we had a guy. We had 2 bank managers here for Wells Fargo, right? 2 older white guys come up to us and say, "Hey, I watched your show, but I can't let anyone know that I support you guys."
Yes.
But
oh my God, supporting us in secrecy. I hate that shit.
And then they sent a $20 PayPal to me. because they're like, you know what, I support what y'all do, but they can't keep it out in the open. So I get it, you know.
Yeah, we live in a world now where you got to be politically correct. You can't say things. And this is why I was happy that Abba and Preach did this. I saw Timcast IRL was addressing some of these things with Mike Cernovich a week ago. Jack Murphy, was also addressing it. The realities of how women really may select. Why women? There's more single women now than ever before. And let's keep it real, man. Derek Jackson, Matthew Hussey, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz,
Steve
all these
Harvey.
dudes are lying to women. And at some point, the truth is going to come out. Like, they could try to suppress it as much as they can and say this is hate speech or this is, this is toxic masculinity, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, humans are humans. We may select the way we do for a reason. And women are, no matter what they tell you, oh, I like a guy to be like this and like be like that. And we all know
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
the cap is real and everyone's finding out, baby. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is this, like, men are waking up. They're realizing that women aren't sugar and spice and everything nice. Women are realizing, hey, I can't lock down a high value guy. They're calling Kevin's show at 10 o'clock at night, 40 years old, 2 kids in tow, trying to figure out why they can't lock down a high value guy because society told them that they should deserve a guy no matter how poorly they behave, no matter how fat they are, no matter how annoying they are. And people are slow. Both genders are starting to slowly wake up. Men aren't getting women and women aren't getting the guys that they think they deserve. So it is what it is, man. And when you see people like Tim Cass, who gets more views than like Fox News, etc., talking about RP things 3 days in a row, you know what I'm saying? You got Abba and Preach talking about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got Dr. Phil reaching out to you, Donovan, and Rollo Tomasi. It's undeniable now at this point that there's something going on. People are starting to realize that the comforting lies are starting to get peeled back more and more.
It's Jap, I know what you're saying. You don't like people support that in silence, but they're doing what they have to do. I care that the support is there, and there are things that I'm not going to say, but I've shared with some folks that I actually know and trust that 2021 is going to be a breakout year because this is mainstreaming. This is mainstreaming to where a lot of the names that you would typically hear, they follow this stuff because when it gets right down to it, the outcomes. Men are control access to relationship. And that's what's been pushed home on my platform more than anything else. Believe what you want, but if you cannot alienate a portion of you cannot alienate men and then expect men to participate. They don't do that way. So I say right now, this is going to be like this is going to be a weird historical reference, but give me a little leeway.
Okay.
After the Black Death, the bubonic plague ravaged Europe, right? Before that, you had starvation. You had all kind of problems because there were too many people and not enough resources. Sadly, after the plague ended, we had 1/3 population reduction. You know what we had after that? We had a renaissance because now there was no more hunger. Now, hunger was reduced because you only had 2/3 of the people. The people who survived remember a life before and they're grateful. They have humility, empathy, self-awareness. They lived a different kind of life before the plague ravaged Europe. Now, imagine if you were one of the survivors and who had seen the world before. That's where we are. We're leading the charge for the next wave of the people who have, quote unquote, survived this whole thing, and they're looking for a different way of doing things. That's why 10 years ago, the names that were being said would have targeted us for destruction. Now they're talking about the concepts in diluted forms on their platforms because they can see the tea leaves.
Is it so we're turning the quarter, Kevin, and I want to get your opinion on this. Is this possibly the turning point? So it's clear that red pill awareness it's going to go mainstream a lot sooner than any of us ever predicted. I know some guys predicted it would come at some point, but are we beginning to see a turning point in terms of not only the red pill being mainstream, but dare I say accepted?
Well, I would say that it may not be called that.
Okay.
But I like I used to say in corporate America, you can call me the assistant piss boy in charge of paper clips as long as you pay me like a VP.
Damn right.
When you start seeing people like Joe Rogan and all these other people with mainstreamable platforms, not necessarily calling it that, but speaking those tenets, they're not doing it because they can't because their audience doesn't want to hear it. I think it's going to be acceptable, maybe a bit of a stretch, but putting the concept out there to at least start having the conversations. Because what happens after a war? You have to sit down at the table and hammer out a deal, the Treaty of Versailles.
Right.
And that's what we're ultimately getting to. We can't sustain a society. I mean, Korea and Japan are dying and going bankrupt because people aren't dating and making babies. You cannot survive this way. And you cannot survive in Korea with a bunch of women who are independent. They don't need a man, but you're a florist. Florists have always been able to live on the excess of society. So what are you seeing? Groups of women starting to live together in small communes. That's why pet sales are up. That's why you got all these things going on, but that still doesn't sustain people. Women still want that relationship, and they know something is missing, and you can't come to men and tell them bad, and you got to come to the men and say, all right, what's it going to take for me and you to hammer out this so I can have the next 20 or 30 years? Because like it or not, they know the men, as imperfect and as flawed as we are, like Jordan Peterson said to men, clean up your room. As imperfect as we are still the men, and we are needed for them.
Kevin, I'm gonna read the super chats and then we're gonna break down the Abba and Preach video. Did you want to stick around for that, or did you have to go?
I'm going to hang out in the background.
Okay.
I will hit you in private chat when I'm available.
Okay.
Jeb, did you say you wanted to? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what you got, Jeb?
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I heard what you said, Kev, about a lot of these guys are doing what they can. You know what I'm saying? As far as with the support and being able to visibly declare that they're a part of this and they have this ideology. But I gotta challenge them by asking, are you really red pill if you have to hide it? And I'm not saying you have to run around here with a red pill t-shirt, but what I'm saying is if you have to suppress your views and you're scared to speak up, are you actually a man? Are you actually being real with this shit? Or is what we're doing, is it really effective? Is it just something that you can only do recreationally?
It really really depends. Listen, it depends, because if I'm not mistaken, the only person on the panel, the only two people that on the panel who have children are Coach Greg Adams and Hotep Jesus, and the only
I have a daughter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kevin has a daughter. My bad. Good Lord.
No, I'm not talking about hiding it from kids. I'm just saying, like, in society, like, okay, if I'm a red pill and I'm losing a job, I'm not really red pill.
One thing I would say, man, you're a warrior, and warriors see one direction.
Yeah.
Always have been. Donovan is a warrior as well. But guess what? I'm a diplomat.
Yeah.
Both are needed on the side to win. So oftentimes, let's get completely out. Dungeons and Dragons. When you first start, you need a warrior to do a lot of the tasks, but you can't win without that weak Gandalf-ass wizard like myself. I mage, image, wizard.
Right.
They're both needed. Now, what we need really more than anything else is I don't need a man to be out here with his sword and shield on the front line. What I need you is to not be opposite of me or working against my ends.
Right.
I need you to at least sit down or at least be neutral. But that's all I can ask for the men. But when somebody's supporting you from behind the scenes with money, they're doing what they can because they're not in a position. And I don't want to, because here's the thing, we don't want to alienate those guys either, because then they become a part of the other side.
And I'll tell you this too, Kevin, if you, and again, I understand the risk here. You ask a man to choose between the red pill and his family, he's going to choose his family 11 times out of 10. If he knows that he goes, hey man, I support Jap and Fresh Prince CEO, and I'm on board with Kevin Samuels, if he knows he's going to lose his job, his livelihood, or if he's ostracized from the community, this is why these people support us in secret. This is why we get these super chats here, man. I can promise you 95% of the people in here, they have probably never said anything to anybody about what we talk about here. And I can't blame them. I can't blame them. Now, none of the, 8 or 9 people, none of us could really work a W-2 paying job in the United States. Again, like, it's out there. Like, that's it. We risked it all, and here we are. It's going to be sink or swim. But for men who haven't crossed that barrier, for men who haven't really reached that point of no return, I guess escape velocity that Kevin talks about a lot, those guys, they have to hold on to what they have, man, because if they lose their jobs because of this, I mean, it's a lot bigger risk for guys like them, for guys like them than guys like us, because we're already out there.
Okay, I got to understand it now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just that the fact that, like even what Myron said, I've been through what Myron. I've lost great jobs because of this shit.
Yeah.
Lost beautiful fucking women. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to tell them about this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that family members, you know what I'm saying? Like, they sitting around having powwows about what the fuck is he doing? You know, I'm standing on this shit, and, me having passion for this shit, I kind of take offense at times. So I
understand.
Based off what Kevin said, I can get it now.
No, it makes sense.
I'm very passionate about this shit because I live it now.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That, okay, yeah, you may not be able to risk. And there is risking, and everybody can't be a warrior. I got it. And there's no disrespect.
100%. Barry Risper, $5 says, oh, snap, you guys in Miami, this is why we don't have nice things. Timothy, $2 says, what if all 7 of you get invited on a talk show? Depends on whose talk show is there, but the answer would probably be no. I can't speak for everybody else, but Dr. Phil invited me onto his show, and I told him, fuck no. Dr. Thunder, $2 says, all hail to the 6, let's go. Don DeMarco says, Kevin, can you do a show with Rollo Tomasi? I don't know, you'll have to ask him that. Silent E, $7 says, magic number 7 in the house. Gotta pay my dues. Rodrigo Baez Andrade, 5,000 CLPs. I do not, I guess Chilean something or others. Says, thank you for your content. It's an honor to be a part of the Red Pill Resistance in my country of Chile. I did major changes in my life just by watching your free content, and now I have the edge. Dude's all the way down there in Chile with the red pill. Wow, the red pill goes everywhere. Vladimir Prochept, I can't pronounce that name, says, what you guys discuss applies to all races here in America. Hypergamy and feminism does not discriminate. Thank you for getting together. Absolutely. The RP Awakened Mindset, $10 says, shout out to the panel of the powerful men in the RP space. Special shout out to DS, CGA, and the Godfather himself, who is leading the charge to end the gender war. Keep it up, and thank you. Traveris Wiley, $2 says, decline and fall of the Roman Empire by Gibbons. Yes, check that out. Christopher Rice, $21 says, if Atlas shrugs, we're all in trouble. This conversation is speaking truth to power. You're showing the way. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Black Bruce Lee. In other words, he said Bruce Leroy. $5. Appreciate that. Albatross, $5 says peace and love, I think, if I speak my emojis correctly. Joshua Frazier, $5 super chat says, honestly, thinking about it, books like Fight Club became the precursor for what became the RP community. Society treats it today like an open secret. I agree with that. C-Square, $5 says, all y'all truly an inspiration, a blessing in disguise. Thank you, gents. Sam Whiskey, $5 says, the Western Roman Empire lasted for 600 years. The Eastern Roman Empire lasted for 1,100 years because they never abandoned their masculinity. Real talk. Damian Boggle with $50 Canadian dollars says, King Henry VIII changed an entire nation's religion from Catholicism and created the Church of England, all to allow himself to remarry Anne Boleyn. Historically, men have done a lot of foolish things to win a woman's favors. You guys really need to check out the story of King Henry VIII. That was incredible. And through it all, the woman he divorced to be with Anne Boleyn never stopped loving him. There's a little red pill truth for you there. C-Dub, $10 says, if no one else has said it recently, respect to you men for, like Kevin Samuel says, putting in the work and wood and speaking masculine truth for the benefit of mankind, women too, even if they mostly don't get it. Chick Ka Chill, boy, ACKC. $5 says, salute brothers, the young men need this. Appreciate that. Vladimir P says, Kevin, get a firearm into CZW. What makes you think he hasn't already done that? That's what a burner is. Matsuki, welcome to Chat Privileges. Appreciate that. Khalil G, $5 says, EDC, gentlemen, everyday carry, pew, pew. Vladimir P, $2 says, back in the Soviet Union. I lost that one. I'm going to go through these as fast as I can so we can get to this video. Man, thank you guys very, very much. There we are. It says, back in the Soviet Union, you would simply disappear. Hashtag Ivan Drago. I must break you. P. Willie, $4. Said red pill and crypto are mainstreaming. That's exactly why I have shows on consecutive days for that. King Hazy, $5 says, definitely mainstream. Ever heard Joe Budden mention Kevin Samuels on the Joe Budden podcast? Red Pill Mike with the $5 super chat says, on a neutral platform with no audience and a neutral moderator, I truly think Rollo would wipe the floor with Philip McGraw. I think Rollo, he would wipe the floor with anybody. Adrian Tapia, appreciate you being a member. Black Bill, $5 Canadian. says, keep in mind y'all can still be canceled building mailing lists and have presence on other platforms. Listen, those things are happening in the background. We are working tirelessly to become platform agnostic. Shout out to Kevin Samuels for coining that phrase. Jason Bravo, $20, says, great societies like Rome fell not because of foreign enemies, but from within. Eventually, messages like this have to catch, or else America, as we know, will fall. I'd sign up to be a bodyguard for any of you guys. Appreciate that. Lucas, welcome to chat privileges. Matasuki says, who runs YT? It's all feminists. All are engineers blue-pilled. I'd expect the opposite. Vladimir P, $5, says, men in this lib girl from Philly banged at my place, and later she found my Trump 2020 sign in the closet and got super mad, but I already got the lay. See, there you go. C-Dub with the $10 super chat says, Jap, like the movie Higher Learning, very good movie. Crimson Capsule, hashtag Kane is able. Men, that's actually from the program, never mind. Men are needed everywhere, doctors, lawyers, and accountants. If we abandon those battlefields to the dark side, that's all that will be left, absolutely. The Steel Curtain with the $50 super chat says, gentlemen, it is unfortunate, but in this witch hunt cancel culture society, some of us have to stand in the shadows for now. Nonetheless, we support you. Appreciate that. Free Smoke, $20. As I lose it, says, I'm a wedding photographer and business owner. It's hard to talk about these things, but I do talk my talk when confronted. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate that. Lorenzo Rock, $20, says, I was going through a divorce. That's why I'm hiding my real name. My ex was trying to get any dirt on me to use in court. How do you think a judge would treat someone if they knew that he listened to this kind of stuff? Holy shit. Damn. Neo, $5, says, Donovan, Coach, Kevin, Jap, Myron, Jesus, and Kevin, again, are like the Avengers of the RP. I love you guys. Thanks for all the knowledge. Appreciate that. Age of Machines, $5, says, just out of respect for you, for all of you have lost. Remember, angels themselves had no issues with this, and they reproduced to the detriment of Noah's world. Okay. Calixi TV with the $10 super chat says, Miss Calixi Pierre Louis, and I stand with the Red Pill. Appreciate that. The RP Awakening Mindset, $10, says, found 2 RP friends in my city. We still can't talk out loud of the possibility of losing out our livelihood, but we'll continue to support in the shadows until we can inspire change on a larger scale. Lucas, $5, says, root of the problem, we lost our right to freedom of association. Men were forced to hire and promote women, giving away the power that outright brought balance. I agree with that. St. Jem, $10, says, shining a light on the truth is always a difficult road. You guys are on the front line. To you, KS, DS, CGA, Jap, and all of you fresh and fit, got me in the gym every day, getting all my together. Unique 79, 5 pounds. Question to the panel, do you think action rather than speaking about this content is a more effective way to get to the people? Easier said than done. Beastly Nerd, $5, says, willing to extend my personal protection services to any of you if needed. Okay. ARCDC 202 says, silent red pill wizard. You guys have changed my life in 2020. I wish I'd known about you all in 2015 before I got married, then divorced, lost the house, and around 50K. Eek. Technomage B5 says, $10 says, the revolution of 1776 was won with less than 10% doing the fighting, but nearly 50% supported it. The silent support is necessary to get results. Thank you for being the face of the movement. Appreciate that. Adrian Tapia, $5, says, thank you for the content. Says, teaching things that dads should be teaching their sons. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that. Lakeith Evans, $5, says, Kevin, did you see the video about the former Cosmo writer regretting the feminist lies she said to women? He did, and he did a video about it. And so did I. Lamont Adair with the $50 super chat says, keep applying the pressure, guys. And when is Myron dropping the workout videos? Myron, any thoughts on that?
This support is crazy, guys. Thank you so much. And the workout videos are in the High Value Academy if you want to get in there, man. And I will be dropping workout videos again. Don't worry, we're gonna film some stuff.
Good stuff. Mike Nogozones, $10, said, would love to see you have Mark Zolo, a.k.a. the Naughty Nomad, on as a guest. He's a red-pilled and world traveler. I just returned from Istanbul, Turkey, doing a collaboration with him. All right, let me catch my breath. That was insane. That was like
that was a lot. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Yeah, man, you guys are really, really supporting. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we are going to break down the video that Abba and Preach did talking about the red pill. And if any of you guys want me to stop the video either before or after I stop it, just say stop the video and we'll stop it. So away we go.
Today's topic. I disagree with the red pill community, but I 100% understand that there's an absolute need for it. People often complain about like the rhetoric that comes out of like the Manosphere or whatever. And I understand some of those because I disagree with a lot of the sentiments that they share. I've been called a blue pill and purple pill and whatever the term that they have. Honestly, I find the whole Matrix reference is super cringy, but it's 100% necessary.
I think that's him trying to hedge. I think he wants to say I'm with the red pill community, but the Matrix reference is super cringy. Unfortunately, it didn't work because now they're not a part of the partner program anymore.
And I think one thing that people don't understand is that there's a lot of expectations placed on men in regards to the roles that they have to play in society, in regards to the roles that they have to play within the dating sphere. You know, the idea that we have to approach, the idea that we have to be the one putting the foot forward and doing all this stuff. I'm not saying that women don't have the responsibilities. I'm just saying there's a lot placed on us, right? The big problem is that we have zero resources in the mainstream to know how to do these things. We don't learn it from our parents because our parents oftentimes don't know what the they do. We don't learn at school, and our friends are just as clueless as we are. So what ends up happening is that we look towards media. But the thing is, men don't have shows like The View.
Right.
Men don't have shows like women do where they get to learn all the next beauty tips and have all their problems constantly talked about other than sports shows. And so what ends up happening is that men turn towards alternative media. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is a perfect example of that. He blew up. But yo, when he was just back in it was just a bunch of guys watching him all the time because it's like the first time that they watched someone speak in long form about that they were going through. I'm talking back in 2013 when his podcast was like setup. Right? I used to watch it back then. I was like, oh, okay, cool. One thing I've learned, like just coming to realize with myself is like, I remember when we first started doing videos, I used to be like way more angry about a lot of stuff, right? And looking back now, I used to ask myself why I was so angry covering some of these topics. And it dawned on me that for so long, I've been having lived experiences with women that were either negative or super toxic. And when I would bring this up to people around me, they would gaslight me, or they'd be like, well, as a man, that's not a real thing. So, right, whether it be being hit, whether it be like women doing weird stuff, saying terrible things. And like just the lack of accountability that society seems to place on women in those kind of scenarios threw me for a loop. I couldn't believe it. And so I used to build up a certain level of resentment to the idea like,
it sounds to me, let me just go to the panel here. I don't want to let it run too long and, risk any sort of copyright, anything. It sounds to me, and I'll start with, well, actually, you know what? Let me start with our trio. Myron, it sounds to me like, I'm going to go around that loop there. I'm going to go Myron, CGA, then Fresh. It sounds like Abba is trying to hedge here, right? The Matrix theme is kind of super cringy, but I agree it's necessary, but it's I disagree with a lot that why is he doing this?
Yeah, I'm glad that you stopped it right there. So he's doing exactly what Tim Cass did when Tim Cass did his breakdown. And what Tim Cass did was he acknowledged an RP truth, then he backtracked it a little bit and was like, okay, well, but still understand that women don't necessarily have to do this, blah, 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 right? Because at the end of the day, these guys have huge platforms. They still understand that I have to stay politically correct, even though I'm acknowledging a hard truth. So I'm going to pull back a little bit. And here's the thing about Abba that I'm listening to this very closely, and I'm glad that you stopped this right here. Here's the thing that he's not telling you. It started to get easier with women when what? His YouTube channel started to blow up.
There it is.
When he started getting clout. When what? He started making money. Because let me tell you something. His frustrations back in 2013, etc., were probably directly tied to his lower socioeconomic status, his lower perceived social status, etc. He can get girls now, and now he can speak this way because he has the clout now. He's getting the girls now because he has I got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Bam, instant social proof. You know what I'm saying? He has a big Instagram. Bam, instant social proof again. Girls respond very favorably to that. But he forgot where he started. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, me and Fresh, right? I think a big reason why so many people resonate with us is that we were both nerds at one time. We both struggled with women. We both understood that this is what it is. And we come from the same place that a lot of you guys do. And just because now we got a little bit more, notoriety with the podcast, everything like that, it don't matter because we do a RP podcast. So we lose girls all the time. It is what it is. And we're here in the trenches with you guys. We're in one of the hardest city to game chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Like chicks here, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the hardest places. So we're not going to forget where we came from. And we're dealing with the same BS. Chicks flake on us. Hell, even to get them on an interview, they flake, bro. So we get it. But the thing with Abba is he's a changed man now. He has clout. You know what I'm saying? So before, he didn't have the same status and everything like that. And he was getting frustrated with women. He was going through the RP rage back then.
Yep.
But now things have gotten better. He's made some more money. He has 1 million followers on YouTube. It's a lot easier to date nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's forgetting a little bit of where he came from. And obviously he wants to keep it politically correct. So he wants to stay as far away as he can from the RP rage. So what do you think, CJ?
Yeah, go to CGA. And CJ, here's what I want to ask you. It's funny because when the hashtag came out with the male bosses and all that, the bosses who leaned into that, yes, we should believe all women and blah, 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 blah. Those were the first sons of bitches out the door.
That's
so
right.
it should serve as no surprise that even though Abba is out here saying, listen, the red pill is super cringy, but I kind of agree with it, but it's super cringy. I don't agree, blah, 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 blah. Now he doesn't have the YouTube partner program.
Well, it's apparent that when you don't go all in the right way, you lose your partnership. See, what we're doing is we're going all in.
Yep.
And he tried to not go all in and still lost.
Yep.
That should be a lesson to him, and it should be a lesson to men. If you really believe what you want to, and trust me, he believes more of the red pill than he's actually putting on. Because he's trying to pussyfoot around it, to be honest with you. And he had
to keep them girls.
To keep his partnership and to keep the girls. And he spent maybe the better part of last month going into a content creator named Darius M. They've been trying to go in on him pretty hard, and he's a red pill guy. But now they're making these videos mainly because of Kevin Samuel's success. And might I add, a lot of us have grown exponentially over 2020 as we predicted, because everybody's sitting at home. To be fair, YouTube as a platform has benefited from people sitting at home. But the biggest stars, if you look at our numbers, we rival almost any YouTuber except the Logan Pauls or anything. If you look at what we do on a day-to-day basis, what we collect, what we get in viewership, even if your subscriber base is not reflected, we're being shadow banned for the most part and still getting 30, 40, 80, 100,000 views. And big YouTubers aren't even getting that. All right, people. So what we have to understand is this guy is trying to go in without going in. Okay. And because he knows he was going to get roasted and probably taken down, he didn't go all in. But guess what, fellas? He still lost.
Yep.
That's a lesson for you.
Like with the music industry, you had all these big name people, right? When Chicago was doing the drill shit, you know what I'm saying? And like everybody thought it was just some bullshit. And now you had to have Drake and Nicki Minaj, and everybody had to come in to get some authenticity.
Yeah.
They had to come fuck with drill music. They had to start doing the Chirac shit and stuff like that to get their authenticity. But then there came backlash from it. They're like, oh no, we understand. Y'all really gang banging. We don't want to really get shot. We just want to be on beat. That's what dude doing. He came in like, listen, the red pill community is just like how the drill scene to a degree. It's gonna pop, but it's authentic. Everybody who's really in it is really in it. They jumping in half-ass, one foot in, 1 foot out. You can't ride with your foot on the brakes. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to coast with their foot on the brakes. It's not gonna happen. You're jumping in, trying to ride the wave because it's relevant right now, but you really scared. That's what you're truthfully scared, and it backfired.
And here's the thing too, they're too popular for their own good to be talking about this kind of content. You got 1 million plus subscribers, bro. You mention anything with RP awareness or anything that holds women accountable. Oh man, are you stupid? You gonna take an L, baby,
all day.
What you said like that? They got demonetized,
dude. They got. Well, I think you said something about. And Kevin, if you're there, you said that they lost their YouTube partner program. Does that mean that they are completely demonetized, or?
Because at that point, it's just 1 million people just looking at you do your thing for free.
1.5 million.
You don't get super chats.
What does it mean, Fresh? Go ahead.
You don't get YouTube revenue, nothing. You're
completely demonetized. Okay.
It's like if you're a regular new channel again.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yep. So it's really just a big advertising platform. I would probably, it got to start over.
God damn.
I'll tell you what happened here, right? For example, a lot of big YouTubers, they're going to trending topics.
Yeah.
So
and Fresh knows a lot of them, guys. Fresh knows a bunch of these 1 million plus subs here in Miami and everything. Go ahead, Fresh. Go ahead.
And it's funny because a lot of these YouTubers that are like in the mainstream, so to speak, they have to talk about trending topics. And here's the problem though. This topic right here, the red pill, is not censored, which means, for example, they have a lot of female viewers and a lot of politically correct viewers. So what happens here is they have to tiptoe around the subject, because if they don't, they're going to lose subscribers, they're going to lose following. And CJ, what did I tell you? It's all about perception. So they have to kind of like dance on the topic, because if they don't, then they're going to be heavily screwed for it. No, get this, right? He has a big following. However, at the same time, he's seeing that, hey, you know what? Tim Cass is doing it.
They ain't stupid. Yeah, they saw Jack Murphy, all that. Yep.
Yeah, they did.
And they watch our content. I'm telling you, because there's no way you can actually talk about it without knowing some kind of genre. He knows the blue pill. He knows the term, right?
He knows all the vernacular.
Yeah.
I think he's being honest though, if to tell you the truth, because I watch these dudes all the time, and they, even though they're aware, they still kind of are that have that in and out type of energy about it anyway. So I think he's honest when he's like, oh, this is kind of cringe, and I don't really, because I saw the video, he was even saying some stuff about, he's like, yeah, some of it I feel like is kind of toxic, and some of it I agree with him. You understand what I'm saying as far as like what he's saying in that regard. So I don't necessarily think he is all the way BSing, but I think that there could be a little bit of it, but I think some of it is really how he feels based off of a lot of the videos I've seen of them previously. You know what I'm saying?
Like they talked about, they actually watched another video of them. They had a bunch of these old bitches and Steve Harvey. One of them was with Rachel Lindsay, the former Bachelorette, talking about why it's wrong for a man to ask a woman for a prenuptial agreement. And Ab and Preach were like, yo, what are you talking about, Steve? Like, you've been divorced 3 times, fam. You didn't have a plan. But I was like, okay, so these guys are red pill. If you're gonna be red pill, and if you have that big a following, you can't actually say you're red pill. You can talk about red pill tenets. You can talk about red pill concepts. You can talk about red pill ideas, but you cannot use the vernacular. You can't use red pill, blue pill, the wall, hypergamy. You can't use that stuff because if you do, that's when you get demonetized. Go ahead, continue, Fresh.
Look, a lot of our friends that we have here, right? They're big YouTubers, and they mess with us like, yo, Fresh and Fit. I mess with y'all. But when I'm on the show, I can't be saying that stuff, bro. That's my brand. You're gonna fuck up my brand. And look, they'll literally say, you know what? This happened to me with this girl. I saw it happen to me live. I believe you, but I can't say it on the camera because guess what? Now I'm gonna be attacked, and that's my money right there. You're gonna mess up. Right. So I get what they're doing. And look, he even said at the beginning, I used to consume the content. I was a part of the whole Rebel community, so he knows deep down what it's about. Now, guess what? Like Myron said, he has fame now. He's famous. He can't say things like that without having like a milk toast approach.
Yeah,
he just can't.
Yeah, and the thing is they probably built their following not off of RP content. They built their following off of something else. And then when you switch up the vernacular and you bring up RP stuff, because here's the thing, guys. The thing about the RP is that it's so diversified. And I always say like there's like an NBA but a WNBA, but the public doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're gonna look at guys. I consider us, this panel, the Rollo Tomasis, the Rich Coopers, etc. This is the NBA. You know what I'm saying? This is like the big leagues.
Big leagues, man.
But then you go to, there's other content creators out there who I will not even name, but you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, that are WNBA, but they're like very toxic and crazy, right? And people will watch their content and think, oh, all these RP guys are misogynists and angry people that hate women. Yeah. And it's like, no, actually, we don't hate women at all. We just tell you guys that they're different than us and we're actually better together than we are apart. But the public media sees the angry other side, if you know what I'm talking about, the angry guys, and they're like, yo, all these RP guys are misogynists. And then bam, since and these guys made the mistake, right? That's how you know they're rookies. They actually used the full RP term.
Yeah, man. They said red pill. They didn't know to stay away from it, man.
That was a big mistake. So them doing that, right? Like these guys didn't get famous off of the RP and then they put it in their thing. It's like, whoa, they probably got a bunch of people reporting them and everything like that, just off of using the term because it has such a negative connotation. Because honestly, it's very ambiguous. You could get one side from Rollo, you can get another side from these other guys who I will not name and give them clout, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, these toxic guys. So yeah, man, it is what it is.
Hey, Myron, do those other guys, do they have their passport?
Oh my God. Let's not get started on that. Hotep, what are your thoughts on Ab and Preach? Because listen, we're a couple of minutes in. It is clear to me that they are hedging, and the reason they're hedging is they want to hold on to that bread, man.
I'm not usually too keen on people who play it safe.
Yeah.
They usually strike me as shady and phony and grifters.
Grifters.
Anybody, go to my app, grifties.com. You can nominate people for a grifty. I think Kevin Samuels got nominated. I think he's on that app.
For real?
Yeah, make sure y'all go there and vote for Kevin. But yeah, my app keeps track of all these grifters, and on these guys, I just smell grifting.
Okay.
It's like playing towards the pussy to get the pussy.
Yep.
It's corny,
I think it is. That's what I like about everybody on the panel here. There is nothing half-ass about this. Every one of us here, we are all in. Like, we are all in. And I like what Myron said. You can tell these dudes were rookies because they had no idea that by actually saying the word red pill on their stream, that YouTube algorithm probably said, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Yeah. And for the following that they got, they got 1 million plus, to say that. Yeah. And then I know a bunch of their followers are blue pill sips. You know what I'm saying? And for them to talk about that, they're like, "Oh, it's done." Because you look at CJ, man. CJ pretty much should have a patent on a lot of these terms. Yep. Shout out to Better Bachelor. These guys have been able to basically circumvent the YouTube algo and use a bunch of cool terms, like monkey double backflips, 304,
49ers, buzzer beaters,
beaters,
they should have watched your channel, CJ. Learn not to use that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what we need, Donovan?
What's that?
We need a staple, or at least a bunch of people that actually consider red pill. In terms of, for example, we need a guidepost to say, you know what, this is the real red pill.
The NBA, they got, you know what I'm saying?
We're being watered down by all these big influencers. Once again, they have influence, they have following. So people are gonna say, you know what, that's the red pill, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're like carbon copies. So we need a stable, say, you know what, this is the RP, this is who we are, and that's it.
Even Elon Musk came out here and said, "I took the red pill." We all know that nigga is simp. So you know what I'm saying?
Straight up. Yeah, listen, he did the shit stir. We're going to continue the video here in just a second. Let me continue these super chats. Red Pill Mike with the $100 super chat. Says, hit the button raw and from the back just for me. Train optional. Just as long as we don't get her pregnant, RPM. Uncomfortable Truth, $10 super chat says, Wavo doing security for celebs such as Usher, Drake, Rick Ross, Melanie Fiona at Club Beamers when they came through Dallas. I'd be honored to protect the red pill profits. Men's and women's futures depend on it. Okay, we might reach out to you on that. Roland, Cole Thirst, $5 says he was really downplaying the RP support if you've seen some of his relationship-related videos in the past. JS Felder, 0147 with the $60 super chat. Says, love the collabs lately. Y'all providing the guidance young men desperately need, but haven't gotten for the last 60 years. I'm going to drop off my wallet for a minute. Can y'all brothers hold it for me? We got you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's a treasure wallet.
Appreciate that support, man. Seriously, guys.
C Squared with the $50 super chat. Says, just because. Larry Sycamore, $5. So shout out to the fellas. Keep the fire coming. Roland Colthurst, $5. Says, beware the Mancy's. Vladimir P says, no buzzer beaters, no busted Pillsbury biscuit. Dude, Greg, you gotta. Dude, I'm telling you, Coach Greg Adams has rewritten the entire Red Pill glossary. It's a thing of beauty, man.
I need to come up with a dictionary. I actually have, and I think in the book, The Evolution, I said I was going to have a dictionary of terms because there was a lady from, I think she was Chinese. She was in the gym and she said, I watch your videos, but I can't understand. Because she's like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what that means. So I had to. I'm gonna come with a dictionary at some point.
We'll talk about that tomorrow on the show, man.
Do you know what you could call this publication? You could call it the MGTOW Dictionary. Just saying.
I think somebody owns that. I'm not getting it. Somebody's already got that. Somebody's already got that on lockdown. Okay, let us continue with the Abba and Preach video breakdown. Be sure to go to grifty.com. Vote for Kevin Samuels. Vote for Kevin Samuels on grifty.com. All right, here we go.
They can just get away with this. And we just constantly reinforce these ideas, right? And I would look towards media and I would watch, shows like, I'm pretty sure it's The View. I can't remember what it was, but a girl just talking about like cutting off a dude's penile and throwing it in a garbage dispenser. And everyone laughs and claps.
I don't know the circumstances. I don't know why he filed for divorce. I don't know what was going on between them. However, I do think it's quite fabulous. I mean, can you just imagine that thing whizzing around the disposal? It's like hysterical. But however, I think I would have just, depending on why she cut it off. I mean, it does depend on the reasons why.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
She's on the TV for the next couple. Like, imagine a dude getting on a round table.
Okay, so check this out. Like, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off, right? Anytime a man red rums a woman, red rum spelled backwards a woman, throw him to the gallows, blah, 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 execute him. And listen, if a man red rums a woman, listen, you do the crime, you got to do the time. But anytime a woman red rums a man, what's the first thing they do? Well, we should be asking, why did she red rum him? So why are we concerned with why she red rummed him, but then we never consider that, listen, even though red rum is a crime, why are we never asking this kind of thing? These are the kinds of, and I hate to use the word double standard, because I think double standard is kind of a misnomer wrapped in a paradox and all that other kind of stuff, but those are the kinds of things that piss me off, talking about cutting off a dude's junk. Anybody have anything on that?
Yeah, when it comes to the law, then equality does matter. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to when it comes to rights, privileges, protections, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. For equality does matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just the problem is that, let's keep it real. And CJ, you've talked about this extensively. A lot of womenism, it's not about equality of opportunity; it's equality of outcome that they're looking for. So, and I think you talked about this extensively in the de-evolution. So, when it comes to like legal stuff like that, yeah, you need the equality, and it's statistically proven. Men serve 67% more time in prison for the same crimes. So,
ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah, but it's all fun and games when she cuts off his wee wee.
Yeah, everyone makes fun of it. Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous. All right, guys. Let me read the rest of these super chats, then we'll go around the panel and give our last thoughts. Wait a minute. Sigma Fang, welcome to chat privileges. I'm going to have to keep an eye on you. Black Sunday, $5 says, Hotep Jesus' Grifty Awards is the funniest award show I've seen. I'm nominating Abba and Preach for a Grifty. Hashtag Hotep's been told you. Nixon talks with 10 Australian dollars. Said it's like Abba and Preach see more RPN videos around. And since the Kevin Samuels average video blew up, they've been in on more RP related content or whatever it is they are portraying. That'll be the last question. Adrian Tapia, $2 says the truth always comes with consequence. Don DeMarco with the $2 superset says thanks for spamming the button. Keep it going. Don DeMarco. Yeah, I'm like a kid with a new toy. I feel like I'm part of the cool kids table now, man. Now that I have the button. Let me ask you. Listen, I'm gonna go Lucario. Hotep, Jap. I'm going to go to the We Three Kings down there in Miami. Then I'm going to go to Kevin to see if he thinks that this is an act by Abba and Preach, because I've seen them do other videos before. I don't think they're capping on this. I think this is really how they feel, and you can feel them hedging back and forth. But I could be wrong. Lucario, am I missing something?
Are you saying is this how they really feel?
Yeah. Do you think that this is an act, or because here's the thing, the red pill is trending, right? RP is trending, dude. Kevin's obviously his meteoric rise, then Timcast IRL. Abba and Preach are like, well, if Timcast IRL can talk about it, so can we. Or is this just really what they think?
No, I think this is the way that they're presenting it. I think this is exactly how they think, because I watch a lot of their videos, and so I think they know about this type of material, but they're not really deep into it. So it's kind of like they're still not really, like, they're not going to go in how we would expect them to go in. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So, and I don't think that they're trying to not necessarily go in. I think that this is where they're at, the level where they're at. Because I watched a lot of the other videos where it's like it's like half of it is like, okay, I feel you on that, and the other half I'm like, yeah, that's kind of soft what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So they always teeter on that level. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think about that.
That you're kind of soft.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I swear to shit. They do
That's
that.
funny as hell. Hotep, do you agree with Lucario? Are they being honest with us and themselves, or are they really just kind of grifting a little bit?
Nah, they're being honest. Okay. Lucario is absolutely 100% correct. They're being honest. Honest to the fact that where their masculinity is won't allow them to step outside of the political correctness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're not built like us. Therefore, they're going to, I can't speak on a black dude because he hasn't said too much, but from what I've seen from Abba, it seems like he's not really built to face that backlash, right?
Yeah.
And therefore that might be his persona and how he really feels about this stuff, because he's been so emasculated and buck broken.
So it would appear that he is hedging, but this really is like him going back and forth. Isn't him hedging? This is just him kind of thinking out loud.
Well, the hedging is just the symptom of the blue pill.
Wow. Okay. All right, let's end the show there. Yeah, listen. Yeah, I had to give you a Don DeMarco for that one. Jap, what do you think? Listen, now here's the thing. I think I agree with Hotep. So first I agree with Lucario, then I agree with Hotep. What say you? Is this an act, or is this a symptom of something a little deeper?
Well, again, I think it's a reach for relevancy. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of times too, when these people run out of material, they start reaching to what they perceive to be lower level, you know what I'm saying, or the underground, you know what I'm saying, to give them some type of relevancy, because what we got is authentic.
Yeah.
But I don't believe what they're doing. I don't believe they stand on anything. I don't believe they stand for what they. I don't believe that they have the fortitude to stand with this type of community because of what comes with it. That's why it's half-assed.
Yeah, the costs. Yeah, the costs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not willing to risk a job. You're not willing to risk a bitch. You're not really to risk a family member. You're not really risk being ostracized by the community. Everything that comes with the red pill, you're not willing to partake in it, but it's amusing and it's entertaining and it's something that you're intrigued by, but you don't got the balls to do it.
Nope.
And I think a lot of these guys, though, they don't have the balls to do this.
It's funny. I'm not to bring violence into this, but when it becomes clear to you that a physical confrontation is inevitable, you can look in another man's eyes and realize, okay, we're about to throw hands. But then you can also look in a man's eyes and be like, you know what, this guy's head is bulging and he is this and that and the other. This guy's not going to swing on me because he knows I'm going to cave in his face. Like, no matter how big he is. I think that's what Abba is going through right now. He knows the red pill is real, but he does not have the heart. He doesn't have the heart to throw that first punch, man. All right, so let's go back around. Let's go Fresh, Coach, then Myron. So Fresh, do you think this is just an act? Do you think that they're grifting, or is this how he really feels?
Honestly, man, I'm putting on my influencer social media expert hat here.
Do it.
And I'll say, for example, right now, like, they might have a team, or either this is how they feel. Look at these type of like content. So you know what? This is trending. Let me hop on this, right?
Yeah.
And also, I watched the video as well. And in the beginning, he did say, for example, he used to like engulf himself with this type of content. He used to always watch it.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's right. That's right.
It says to me, you know what? Deep down, he has a base in RP content, but he is still blue pill, and also his market, which is his audience, is not going to take it well. So he has to dance around the topic, because if he doesn't, then he's going to piss off his audience. And I get it. It's about the bag. It's about his brand. He can't really go all in because it's his brand. If you could look at it from a marketing standpoint, I get why he's doing it. Does he feel this way? I would say yes. And that's how he is with his brand. So.
Okay, very good. And I would agree. Listen, we're all red pill to the core, so we have no problem going all in. But a guy like him, he can't risk it. CGA, is this an act, or is he grifting?
I'm going to agree with Fresh. I mean, those were some points that I was going to say. I said he gave an indication. 2013, I was angry and I was consuming this. I was having problems with women. You talked about that. And so I was watching this stuff and I felt angry. Now I'm not so angry anymore. And the blue pill, red pill matrix, that was kind of cringe. Well, you only think it's cringe when you're a blue pill. You don't think it's cringe when you're a red pill, because you're like, I get it. You think so it's cringy because a lot of the times that maybe he's called out on some of the content that he watches, he says, that's me. So here's my opinion on them. I do subscribe to them. I do watch their videos. I'm just going to say they are kind of wishy-washy, but they are entertainers and they have a good platform. I will say this. He don't want to lose no Peace League.
Nope.
No, that's the bottom line. He don't want to lose out in the Peace League. Remember, 2013, he wasn't getting no Peace League.
Yep.
Now he's getting some Peace League. And now he's like, I ain't about to go back to 2013. Let me just keep it like this.
Listen, he knows about the red pill, but this ain't who he is. That much, this is not who he is.
I'm really happy that I went last, because everyone on this panel made phenomenal points. And I'm gonna take a bit from everybody. And I was like kind of like taking notes in my head as everyone was speaking. This is what I think. He went and he read The Rational Male. He probably went through some RP rage in 2013, couldn't get girls, whatever it may be, right? Struggled, right? Then his YouTube channel started to blow up. And this is one thing I've learned about a lot of guys that consume the RP. They take it to the point that they start to get women. Once they start to get women, they get rid of it. I don't need this crap no more. I'm not no misogynist. Bam, right? And they think that they don't need it anymore. And then that goes back to exactly what Lucario was saying. They ain't in it like we are. You know what I'm saying? They took what they needed. got the clout, got the girls. Now, you know what? I can start to observe some of these blue pill ideals that I used to have. Some of the, what they call purple pill, right?
Yeah.
As some guys call purple pill. Yeah. So he didn't consume the content enough and learn it to get out of the RP rage. So he was in RP rage, starts getting girls. Okay, you know what? I got the clout now, whatever. I'm kind of aware of female nature, but I don't need to consume any more of this content. I'm good. And then he gets out. And then this is why you end up with this wavery type situation where, well, it's toxic or blah, blah, blah. Anybody that has common sense understands that the RP and everything else like that, alpha, beta, all these, they're placeholder terms to explain things. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we're all here watching the Matrix. Red pill, blue pill, purple pill. No, you idiot. Like, stop being stupid. It's simply an analogy to help people understand the differences between the truth, the lies, etc. So his thing is this. He was in the middle of his RP awakening, but he didn't fully take it in.
There it is.
He was able to get out as he got his fame. And now he's in that middle wavering ground. So I agree with Lucario and Hotep that he actually does believe in this, right? That's like the way they speak is how they believe. But I think that's a byproduct of him getting the clout too early in his awakening. And he doesn't understand. If this guy was to meet a bad chick, he will still get taken to the cleaners. As much as he wants to prenup all other stuff, he ain't ready. He's a blue belt. And a lot of these chicks are black belts.
And he's married.
Oh, he's married?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like,
dude. Oh, it's a wrap.
There you go.
Listen, Kevin, take us home, man. Do you think Abba is, because I mean, obviously Preach is going to speak a little bit later on and he sort of echoes the sentiment, but is this an act by Abba? Is he grifting or is it something else?
Now, Abba is the taller one of the two, right?
Yeah, Abba's the taller one, Preach is the thicker one, yeah.
So Abba is the one who said that men need an outlet and that he found the RP space because he needed some guidance and he actually found himself in red pill rage. I agree with some of the things I heard Myron saying. I just got back. But if the question is, see, what's difficult about red pill philosophy, it doesn't matter what you call it. The truth is true.
Yes.
And even the things I talk about, even when you start getting into the upper echelons of high value, the truth is still true. All women go left.
That's right.
There is figure the loss into this. I look at women like this. When I go to a restaurant, I automatically add 15% because I know I'm tipping.
There you go.
When I'm dealing with a woman, I automatically add the breakup in because I know what's going to happen. And that's the point. And that's the truth. And I can look at it soberly, judiciously. I don't get involved with who I am or what I got or whatever. No. It's just my turn. And then when it goes left, you already like, okay, you figure that in. See, I think when you get to that point of pragmatism, you don't get angry anymore.
No.
You're just able to look at things for what they are and accept them for what they are. And it's universal. Ground it back to the Fresh and Fit podcast when I was talking to that one woman. Well, on the other side, the truth is true. And that's why I think this is so necessary because men, period. I will speak for myself. Generation X men who didn't have a strong father figure raising us, not a strong patriarchal testosterone-fueled world. We didn't see that. We have had to reconstruct ourselves into the men we are today. And I think the unifying theme can be around facts, data, statistics, and the world as it really is. So whether they want to call it red pill, truth, or whatever, it is very needed for men to learn how to clean up their room and actually run this world that other men have built.
Real talk, man. And with that, we're going to read off the last of the super chats, and then we are going to sign off. There was a big time super chat there. Wait a minute. Oh, there we are. Crimson Capsule Dictionary. Okay, the Red Pill Awakened Mindset says Crimson Capsule Dictionary. I think that's probably a good name for it. I missed one earlier. Oh, Vincent Tam with the $10 super chat says, as a man, you should always stand up for what you believe in. Love the new Fresh and Fit podcast. Rather support you guys than to subscribe to some womanist on Lonely Fans. Very good. I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that very much. Sigma Fang, $20 super chat. Pardon me. Says, you guys are the real deal. We understand the RP, but as day-to-day wage slaves cannot speak on RP because we may get canceled. This stream is doing the Lord's work and delivering. The message is paramount. Thanks again. Appreciate that.
We'll do it for you guys, man.
Absolutely, man. All day, every day. Lucas, $5 super chat says, yo, coach, I'll give you one of my lines. Woke with both my eyes open. I haven't TM'd them yet. Maybe you'll like that one. Okay, very good.
Shout out to Coach King.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like some, that does sound like a little bit of Coach Greg Adams stuff, right? No? Yes?
I haven't heard. I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what it said.
He said, woke with both my eyes open, haven't TM'd it yet.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I didn't make that one up.
That's right. Well, listen, shout out to Lucas. He's contributing to the RP Awakened Mindset $2 super chat, Crimson Capsule Directory. Sigma Fang with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. I missed one earlier from Coca Sukaro with the $5 super chat. Says, wish we had the Biden button coach.
Oh, yeah.
that would be
freshman. He asking for the freshman. Yes.
There you go. Chris Von Erich with the $100 super chat. He says, I consider it an honor to collaborate and give a platform to the men on this panel. Absolutely. Sub to Chris Von Erich, not to be confused with the wrestler.
Thank you, Chris. Guys, go subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, go subscribe to Chris Von Erich, man. The guy works hard, man. He really does. Sigma Fang, $10 says, hey, I'm a former Marine who became an engineer. Who used to comment in your vids, man. I love this channel and all the content creators here. Sigma was misrepresented on a lot of incel videos. Oh boy. No. Fear to none, $2 says, I've seen hashtag written in restrooms. Okay. Roland Coulterist, welcome to Chat Privileges. Appreciate that. Good Mother, welcome to Chat Privileges. I got to keep my eye on you as well. Nixon Talks, $5 Canadian says, thanks, Lucario. Summed up what I was trying to say. Yeah, I agree with Lucario on that one. Janet Italian, 25 Hong Kong dollars, roughly $17. Says, Ab and Preach are based in Montreal. I'm from there, and like Toronto, it is a womanist capital. They can push it no matter what.
They're Canadian.
Yeah.
Say that.
Wow.
Yeah, they're Canadian, bro, and it's crazy up there.
Oh my
God. You guys think it's bad down here? Canada is a whole other.
Yo, girls leave Canada to come to the States because it's crazy over there for them.
Yeah,
so I can't imagine.
Holy shit!
You heard of that feminist Big Red?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They've emasculated their men so bad in Canada, bro. It's crazy. Like
from what I understand, Toronto is the closest to the United States as far as culture, and the Quebec. I think Montreal is the most liberal or left leaning, and I think they're in Montreal if I'm not mistaken.
So it's almost like the Silicon Valley, like the Bay Area.
Yeah, I mean,
God, there's a small amount. We get a lot of love from Canadians, man.
Yeah.
Like RP Aware Canadians, they show a lot of support. But man, they're a small bunch out there, man. So I'm not surprised that they're speaking this way. Now it makes sense.
Yep.
Jordan Peterson, that's where he hails from.
The University of Toronto.
Yep.
How about that? Kevin G, welcome to Chat Privilege. Appreciate that. Joe Ochoa, $10 super chat says, spectacular show. Techno Mage B5 with the $100 super chat. Double standards apply only when the foundation is the same in groups, under the law, employment, etc. It is the human standard. In gender dynamics, it's not the same. What men and women want and work for does not match what women want and work for. Real talk.
Facts.
Silent E. $5 says, I understand where Abba's coming from. I was purple pilled for years until I was forced to take the red pill suppository. Okay.
And shout out to Canada, guys. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Canada, man. You guys really support us out here.
The 6.
Yeah, listen, man, we really, really appreciate the support. Oruzu, $5 says, it's not about the references or analogies you use, but the idea you're trying to represent. That's what Myron was saying. All of the terms that we use, it's just shorthand. Like, alpha is shorthand for a select man who has options, who knows how to handle women in life. Beta male is shorthand for the opposite of that. That's really all I can say about that. Vladimir P with the $2 super chat says, Ab and Preach is like Cypher that wanted back into the Matrix, right? Lucas, $5 said, about a week before this video, I commented, quote, red pill, but I know you hated Abba. On a different Ab and Preach video, all of a sudden, the video drops. Am I responsible? No, you're not special, Lucas. Appreciate that, though. Sigma Fang, $10. Boy, they are really... $10 super chat says, Peace Leave makes the red pill convenient for some simps. The weak-hearted, once they get theirs, they cut back and run with the minuscule loot and back to the camp. Blue Belt, Kevin Samuels is the truth. Christopher Rice, $10 super chat says, guys that go back to the blue pill haven't got burned bad enough to permanently know better. Real talk.
Thanks.
Vladimir P says, when guys take the RP but get married, they go back to the blue pill so that their woman doesn't divorce E-par them. The peace leave is a force of nature. Samishi, $5 to support the panel. Thanks for much love, each of you. Joshua Frazier, $5 says Abba is more of a diplomat. However, a diplomat who benefits from neutrality ultimately loses credibility and support as an effective negotiator. Lucas, another $5 super chat. It meant that some of these people are, quote, woke, but only have one eye open, meaning they can't see both sides of the issue. We woke with both eyes open. Makes sense. Christian Salcedo says, don't know if we will move beyond Red Pill in the future, but it will be necessary for some time to come. Rob, $5. Ab and Preach are saving face to not fuck up their, F up their money and platform. That's why I have so much respect for Kevin and standing firm despite the storm. Jason Bravo, $5 super chat. True pioneers of the RP bought Hotep's book and plan to purchase Woman Knees tonight. And with that, that is going to do it for this edition of The Six. Let's go around the panel. Let's tell the people where to find you. We'll start with Kevin Samuels.
Look for the fire or the smoke. You'll find me.
Kevin Samuels, that's really all he had
Thanks,
to say.
guys.
Jap, where can they find you, man?
Man, just type in Minister Jap on YouTube. I got a live show every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Also, you can find me on Instagram at This Is Jappa. Man, we cooking, man. And if you want to see that German Shepherd series, you know what I'm saying, it's only available for Patreon. So go to Patreon and become a member of the Game University. And you can definitely go watch that.
Good stuff. Very, very nice. Lucario.
Yeah, so guys, you can check me out on badboymembership.com if you want these ladies to put some respect on your name. Make sure you go to badboymembership.com and also follow me on Instagram at Real Mr. Lucario. So hit me up there.
Badboymembership.com, guys. Game Kings is the truth.
Yes.
Hotep Jesus.
BrianSharpe.co. That's Brian with the Y, Sharpe with an E. That is my legal slave name, BrianSharpe.co. Go get my my book, Rules for Masculinity. The Unbreakable Rules for Masculinity, covered by Rollo Tomasi.
Very good. Oh, yes. No relation, by the way. Let's go down there to the guys in Miami. Myron, where can the people find you?
Yeah, man, guys, Fresh and Fit Podcast or Fresh and Fit Miami. We do our show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. We're going to have the legendary Coach Greg Adams tomorrow. At 6 p.m., man. We're happy to have him. We're real excited to do the show. And we'll probably do a late night show with CJ as well tomorrow night. We got some things lined up for you guys.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, we're happy to have him here at patreon.com/freshfit and Instagram Fresh and Fit Miami. And yeah, guys, did I miss anything, Fresh?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Instagram, FreshBrain CEO.
There we go.
I will respond to your DM. I see you.
There we go, man. And the guest of the honor for CGA.
Yes, sir. Find me at Greg Adams1, GregAdamsONE.com. You can download the free ebook, 52 Things That Men Need to Think About Before Ever Getting Married. 52 Things That Men Need to Do Before Ever Getting free. Absolutely free, gentlemen, for now.
I like it.
Right?
I like it a lot.
I had to deal with him on the show.
That is going to do it for this edition of The Six. Listen, man, party in the city where the heat is on this spring.
One last thing, Donovan. We need to have a 7 here, man. Everyone on this panel always has a home here in Miami, guys. Yeah. So
I'm trying to tell you.
A panel show here, man. Every single one of you guys is invited. I think everyone's been down here except for Jap. So,
Jap, what's up? Jap.
I'm killing, man. I've been bullshitting, man.
Hey. Yo, we need to, we get japped up, man. Oh my God. Yo,
all you guys are welcome, bro. We got enough mics to set it up. We're getting new mixers, all that. So we got enough cameras and, mics for everybody. So you can definitely have
summertime. I'm down. I'm there.
That shit is going to be, that shit's going to be fucking crazy. I can't wait.
Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen.
Down there?
Well, yeah, man, everything's open. We got a curfew at midnight, but by the time you guys come in the spring, everything will be open back up. We'll take you guys up to Fort Lauderdale. They'll open until 4 a.m., so we're good.
That is going to do it for The Six. We will see you guys next week, same time. Take care.
Peace.